Digby was born in 1987. We had a very long labour. The baby was in distress by the time the baby was born. All I could say was, "Is the baby okay?" Then they said, all indicators are that the baby has Down syndrome. You are speechless with the enormity of what it is and the enormity of the loss. I had this it was a real split. After Digby was born, we had all those cards that came in, happy baby and congratulations and all that, which were all very painful. Dave did this lino cut and we had it printed and we sent it out. See, I look at it and I just said, that's a beautiful, expressive moment. That is what it was like. But it's also very confronting for people. Dave and I both met at art school. I work in fabric and stitching, and I did a tapestry too, which I did it over that 2 years when I was in that place that was really frightening and fearful and sad. Even though Digby's marvellous, there's still a lot of residue of what could have been.
I didn't know how to handle Tracie when I first had her. I had no idea about people with disabilities or what their needs were or their wants. When you're having a child, your thoughts of your child at that time are that they're going to be perfect, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. If you're told by a doctor that your child will never walk, will never be able to feed, can't look after themselves, it's a big shock to your system. I was advised to put her in a home and leave her, but we decided, my husband and myself, not to do that, and that we'd try the best we could to see if we could make her life as the best she could have.
Jenny Samet takes her daughter Tracie to Germany for cell therapy twice a year.
There's something that's helping Tracie. She wasn't like it before we went, and each time we go, something further happens to her, that she is progressing more.
To Dr. Killen, this is a flight of fantasy. Parents desperate enough to believe in an unproven medical theory. But to the mothers of these Down syndrome children, this pilgrimage to Hanover is a flight of hope.
We took Tracie to Germany for the first 5 years of her life every 6 months. We still continued with the treatment until Tracie was about 16 years. When she was first born, she was diagnosed with severe Down syndrome. She was unable to suck, she was unable to move, she was like a floppy doll. After having this treatment, we found that a lot of things changed with her. I was told by the paediatricians that she may be 5 or 6 before I'd get a toilet trained, and that she'd be very late walking. Tracie walked at 18 months and she was out of all nappies night and day before she was 2. I feel that the injections and the overall therapy that I was given in Germany has really, really helped, and I think if you look at her today, you can see that she's an extraordinary young lady.
The other thing that frustrates me is not to recall everything and to be able to write them down.
I think one of the other frustrating things about Down syndrome people is that they don't have the ability to think of things in the abstract. So it's the here and now, and anything outside that realm doesn't really have any consequence to them. So to do something, like for instance, the credit card.
Yes. That was a nightmare and a half.
Trace went and got a credit card. Didn't tell us, was able to sign up and was given a credit card. And she spent the max on the credit card.
I knew exactly what I was doing, by the way.
But she spent it on ridiculous things and then realised she had to pay it back, but not that she had to pay it at a regular basis and that she would be charged interest on it. But now she's stuck with the consequence that she has a debt and she has to pay it off.
Hi, Tom.
Sorry about this morning.
Put your bag down. We need to get started because we only have 15 minutes left of workshop. Tom was 45 minutes late in film and TV industry. That's really not acceptable. Green leather?
Green leather.
Yellow leather.
Leather.
This morning I got up and I had this terrible cold and I've got like a sore throat. But I still came to the workshops because that's the way that I've been taught. So we're just going to do this, always be professional. So put your hands up.
Back in about 2008, these parents approached us about the need for supported housing in this municipality so their adult children with mild intellectual disabilities could stay in their community. And we were aware that council had kept this house, and that's a community centre, and that was refurbished at council expense, and it's not really used very much. There were 3 more houses slated for demolition because as tenants moved out, they demolished each house to add to the parkland, and we thought, well, we could just keep these houses and put 4/5 of the land, very long blocks, back into the park and just keep the houses. And the council held a community consultation meeting, and a lot of the locals, when they heard the arguments, they said, oh no, this is really good, this is a great thing, it's a good community thing to do, to keep these houses and have it available for people with long-term needs. But there were just a couple of people who worried about their land values and so on, and they fought very hard and made sure that the state government wouldn't let us keep them.
People really did confuse intellectual disability with psychiatric illness. You can't have people, you're here because my child has a bipolar and I know that it wouldn't be good for him. We're not talking about bipolar, talking about intellectual disability is very different.
Just ringing. I'm feeling a bit down at the moment. This week he didn't show. And why I'm feeling so down is because this is actually an opportunity for me to teach. But maybe I don't have the ability. I'm always doubting myself.
She spends a lot of time looking for grants and trying to write submissions and all sorts of things to no avail. There's just not I don't know that she has the ability to take herself further, or whether there's not the opportunities out there for it. And I think she's getting older and she needs to make sure that her future's secure.
So what's been happening in your life now, Tom?
Can't sleep last night. There's a lot of drama everywhere.
I sat Tom down and we had a bit of a talk what was going on in his life. He said that he was stressed out because there's a lot of gossiping going along with a certain person. I know it's hurtful and I know it's sad and the world's not a good place, but there's more to life than gossiping and Chinese whispers. Talk to that person.
Yeah, I will.
You know, you need to look at the positive side.
Yeah.
So one of the important things of being a performer and working as a movie star, as you would love, is also getting up on time for the filming or rehearsals to act on screen.
Yeah.
So I bought you this.
Okay.
Do you know what this is? I gave him an alarm clock for him to get up on time. He really needs a routine, some type of time management skills or life skills behind his wanting to live independently. I believe in Tom. I believe he can fly.
Careful now. It's all right in these big bits, but when you come close to an edge, slow down.
That's Brad. Brad Pitt.
How's Brad Pitt? I think Brad Pitt's probably okay. Now,
you know Brad Pitt got armpit?
So Digby,
Yes, madam.
you remember what this one was? This first one of yours?
This is Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. So we've done a series on movie stars and general celebrities that Digby's interested in. So we started with Heath Ledger, which was a pretty dark one. Now that one involved a little bit of landscape as background. Oh, and we've got a few more irons in the fire. 5 or so. So there'll be about 11 or 12 of these paintings of celebrities. So we'll see how they all look together.
Yeah.
And maybe exhibit them somewhere.
I'm in my soccer reports and we talk about it and hoping it's over now. I started and I finished it too. I'm very, very happy about that.
Scene 1, take 1, and action.
I was thinking a lot about everything what happened this year. A lot of trauma. I was in bed, slept again. I'm sorry about that, but that's the things that I worry about and say about. But
One side.
I had to move on, and I will do that.
Do you know how to be happy? Would you like to show me? React. What did I say? Here, show me in your face. Keep your face up. That's better. Very, very subtle. Good.
Yeah.
So we're going to start improvising a scene.
Oh man, yeah, here we go.
Help! Help! Help!
2, 3, 4, 5. In the hospital!
So feedback. You're great. You know, you're half an hour early. You know, exactly the way I was.
Yeah.
You know, you came in, you were very inventive as well. You know, you really listened. I can't see why you can't be a movie star.